What's up, gearheads? It's Trev, and today at the garage we're going to go over a couple of the problems we've encountered with the new suspension and the old suspension. And then today I think is actually going to be coilover installation day. So I thought this car was going to be slammed right on the ground just from installing the coilovers. But for those of you with a good eye, you might notice the car is actually sitting quite a bit higher. So I'm going to have to adjust everything down. And for those of you with a rather keen eye, you'll notice that the driver's side is sitting a bit higher than the passenger side. So the reason the car is sitting lopsided isn't because of the adjustment of the coilovers. It's because I can't get this one to fully seat down into the fork. This also happens to be the fork that the bushing inside the lower control arm here is all torn up and the sleeve is seized. So I can't get the bolt out. So I might have to take this apart again and grind out inside the top of this fork a little bit to clean it up to get that to seat down. This is the passenger side. That's what it's supposed to look like. I've got all this apart again. So now I just need to pry down to get this strut out. There it goes. Now the metal down here is a little messed up, but I think it could punch through that. You see it's having trouble. So let's just chamfer this out a little bit. Well, there were definitely some rough patches. Maybe we'll see how that's going, if there's just a burr hanging the thing up. When I put this together on the other side, the nice thing was I didn't have this bolt at the bottom seized. So I was able to just slide it onto the strut and then put it all together as one unit, as you guys saw in the last episode. Whereas here I've got to try and slide it up, so I actually have to jack the arm up. So I don't know if the angle is hurting things as well or what, but it's definitely not playing nice. Look at that. Didn't even need to jack it up. There was just a burr in there. That's all I needed to do to get it seated. Alright, so this leaves me with one extra bolt, because there should be a bracket coming off of here for the brake hose, but I don't have that, so I'm going to have to rig something up until I can find one. I'm going to button this side up. Ah, crud. Alright, so until I can source some brackets, I'm just got that zip tied right around that piece of the fork, and that should keep the brake hose safe and out of the way. Now to do the rear coilovers, you pop out these panels here. I'm going to need my tool. Now to do the rear coilovers, you pop out these access panels right here. And there is where they mount into the chassis. This one's a bit easier because somebody decided to mount this thing. Well, maybe it's not. So I'll have to get in there with just a socket and a wrench, since I really don't feel like pulling my interior apart. And then where they mount underneath is just a fork that goes on the lower control arm. This right rear shock is really starting to leak quite a bit. So between two broken front springs and a leaky shock, this ugly mother right here is the only one that's holding together. You can see the tension's already off these things. I'm not worried about the top. The bottoms, however, the bushings in these things look like crap, so I hope I don't run into the same problem as I did with the front. I need one of those semi-deeps, and I don't have them. That's frustrating. Let's start it with a wrench. Okay, well, that's not good. I don't want to take the interior apart. Oh, wait a minute. That's the hole. Oh, I'm not doing this. There's got to be a better way. Alright, so check this out. Instead of taking the whole interior apart, if I remove my speakers, that gives me access to the tops of the struts with an extension. So that just made things a lot easier. There it's going. That's got one different size nut. How are you going to have one different size nut? Now for the ones I'm loathing, the lower ones. Probably should have started with some PV Blaster and let it soak. No nuts, just a bolt that goes through the fork. So these rear shocks look like they might go a little easier. Now we're just going to pull out the old nasties and put in the new good ones. Just need to get the suspension to drop a little more. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Isolator's all beat up. Shock's leaking. Isolator down low is almost disintegrated. Now I don't think I'm doing anything with chassis saver back here. Maybe on this control arm at some point. That bushing's not looking good either. I think I am going to have to get that bushing kit after all. Otherwise the only thing left is this upper control arm, which I'd like to get an adjustable one at some point, so I'm not even going to worry about it. Slide that up. Boy, I am going to have to jack up this. Yep. Well, could definitely use a few new bushings, but that's all 4 coilovers installed. Just need to get the wheels on it now and put it down on the ground, see how it sits, and then adjust it from there. But I think we'll probably save that for another video. So in the meantime, talk to you guys later.